Hi, my name is Chloe Deakin and I'm one of the 3 young advisors who have been working over the last year on the Challenge and Change Fund. We're going to hear from 6 of the amazing 30 young people who have been funded.
One of the most brilliant things about Challenge and Change is that it is young people making decisions. I find it really interesting being able to resonate with some of the applications that were being put in. It gave me a lot of hope for our generation because I thought actually there are so many young people who care about these issues up and down the country, not just in London or in the big cities.
Focusing on using live streaming and telepresence technologies to help people who have a difficult time leaving the house or physically accessing performance venues have access to opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have. What we are doing with the funding from the Blagrave Trust is investing in the equipment that we need to build a portable live streaming setup that we can use to bring housebound performers into live performance spaces to a live audience.
The more I read into it, the more I found that systematic racism and unconscious bias were playing a massive role in how Black and minority ethnic people experienced mental health and how they were supported with it. When I was sharing my experiences of racism, it was being implied that wasn't a factor in my mental health. Through Challenge and Change, I've been on this journey to raise awareness for that. If I could do a community project where I get people's voices and I help them turn it into something artistic, and the best way I could think of to do that was through the creative arts.
Some of our young adults have been to prison, some of our young adults have been on probation. We kind of aim to empower them to have a say, to kind of shape and influence policy, provide a platform for them to be heard. One of the main things that we do try to push is that young adults are their own category. You turn 18 at midnight on your 18th birthday, your whole mindset doesn't shift, your brain's still developing up until 25. It's very much a collaborative, it's very much youth-led, it's very much about everyone participating. And we've been able to pay like the young justice advisors for their time. Like if they spend a day working on one of the guides, we can pay them now. That to me, it just makes so much difference.
I just had to create a safe space for Romani people where we're not perpetually having to start from square one. So the stuff that I'm doing now is just a starting step to a larger goal. With the money, we've been able to source materials and all the items needed for a package. So not only just including, nice items like traditional biklos, so headscarves and ribbons, but also things like tinned food, reusable masks, or anything that the community says that they're in need of at that moment in time.
Interrupted is a collective creating an anthology of stories of young people who've experienced these challenges in accessing higher educations due to the fact that they're considered international students or don't have access to student finance. And we hope that collating these stories into a book alongside some policy ideas from organizations that are advocating for this change on a day-to-day basis would hopefully change the hearts and minds of not only the UK general population, but hopefully policymakers and people in positions of power who could hopefully shift the needle and make sure that these young people can reach their ambitions.
We've all kind of had various frustrations with the schooling system, and we started off by running like a series of workshops that were kind of exploring youth identity and exploring the schooling system. We want to sort of create questions that you could like frame a workshop around. Could be, what if young people were allowed to use their imaginations in school? Or what if young people were allowed to bring the problems from their own communities and their own homes into school and were given the tools to learn how to deal with those problems? So the money that we've got from Challenge and Change is going to enable us to kind of support our living while we're doing this thinking and while we're trying to launch a campaign, which is just so vital because it's not something that's seen as a job. It's not something that's seen as work. Like, young people trying to actively challenge what's going on.
I hope you've been as inspired as I have about these applications. Stay tuned and watch the space.